Hey, happy Monday. I am taking it a bit easy this morning, starting out on my porch, having my coffee, just really enjoying the fall weather. I was going to say enjoying the sounds of outdoors, but I live in an urban environment. So the sounds of outdoors for me are not the birds chirping. They are firemen going by, trucks going by. I have a school next door, so sometimes it's the children outside playing band practice. But I wouldn't trade it for anything. I do love where I live, and I love the environment. I'm taking it easy today, just really preparing my thoughts for all the things that I have to do this week. One of the items on my agenda today is to get some documents notarized. I am completing the process in hopes of becoming a mortgage loan originator. And that is one of the big items, big tests that I had to take last week. It was difficult, and it's one of those tests that asks questions where you think you know the answer, but they give you a set of multiple choice questions with all the possibilities, depending if you didn't either calculate something correctly, or if you left something out, or if you took something in consideration in the question that wasn't even necessary. So it was a bit of a brain stump, where I advise anyone who is taking that test to really take their time and answer the questions slowly. Reread them. Don't just think you know the answer, but read word by word. It is not a test where you should be speed reading. So I was a bit worried about taking the test, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of why I'm deciding to go that route and my background and everything. But just going back before I go forward, I was concerned to take the test because I didn't think I had enough preparation time, or I didn't prepare as well as I should have. I took the 20-hour course because it's a requirement to take a 20-hour course. I took that course the middle of August. I completed the course in 7 days or less, but I'd say 7 days. And I was supposed to immediately go and take the test, like within the next week or two after, while it was fresh in my mind, while I was, just in the mindset of what I had learned and what I took in, so I could just regurgitate it out on a test, right? But I didn't. And the reason why I didn't is because I had an issue with identity, proving my identity and my name. And this is an issue that is really my fault. So when I got married, I didn't immediately change my name. I didn't change my documents or anything. But not that I didn't do it on this marriage. I had never done it on my first marriage. So when I got married in 1998, I was young. I was 21 when I got married. And I felt a strong connection with my mother and my maiden name. I didn't want to lose that identity. I was 21, I was young, and I was, my name sounds good to me. My first and my last name, they go well together. That name is, new. It doesn't sound right with my name. I was young, I was naive, I was just being ignorant. And so I never changed my name. Then throughout the course of my marriage, so I never legally changed my name. I never changed on my Social Security card. But throughout the course of my marriage, I started using my married name. As I evolved and, lifed, and I had children, I started using my married name. Although, never changed my social security card. And I started signing things with my married name. I was filling out applications with my married name. I got my driver's license with the married name because they didn't require proof of identity by utilizing my social security card or something. It was like, I don't know, utility bill and birth certificate or something. And marriage license. So I was able to get my license changed into my married name, everything, right? So fast forward years later, I am living with my married name, but not only with the married name, I was even signing documents with both the maiden name hyphenated with the married name, or the maiden initial in the married name. I mean, it was just crazy. So like on my credit report, I have all of these different aliases on my report of who I am. And so now, I got a divorce from that marriage, got remarried 2 years ago, and in a different mindset, older woman now. And I couldn't wait to take on my husband's name as mine. But I didn't go to Social Security to get it changed because we have been doing a lot of traveling. And it's been taking too long to get passports renewed and done. So it was like, all right, as soon as we slow down traveling, I'm going to go and take care and get my name and stuff changed. But we never slowed down in traveling. And so when I had to apply for this exam, I applied for it. They utilized the name that's on my Social Security card because anything you do in finance, they really have to scrutinize your identity. You must be who you say you are when you're working within a financial field and banking, other people, loans. It's a lot of privacy that they have to take into consideration. So you better be who they say you are and not who you want to be, right? You better be what the documents say you are. So I signed up for the test, and I saw that the test was my first name and my last name, my maiden name. And I was thinking that, I could just bring, my marriage license and that would be it. And it was just a huge mess because they were like, your stuff don't even say the last married name. So who are you? So I had to go down to Social Security. I got all that done. The beauty of it is Social Security, it didn't take long. I mean, they scheduled the appointment. I was in and out in 15 minutes. Kudos to them. They have their act together at the Department of Social Security. It was no joke getting in and out of there. I was in front of somebody at my appointment time. And, I did all the attestations and signature, and it was done. So now I was able to apply for the test with my married name, George. And then I went to New York and blah, blah, blah. Weeks went by. And so I took the test and I was like, okay, if I do not pass, at least I know what's on the test and what I need to really study for, right? And so, thank God I did pass. But I still learned, I still learned what I need to study for because there were questions that I completely went blank on. And things that I know that I should know, I know that I've learned. But at the time, I just went blank. So I say all that to say that I am completing the additional paperwork and documentation today in order to make application to be a mortgage loan originator. And initially, I was considering doing it in this field because of the company that invited me to become one, they were going to provide our organization some leads. It's a mortgage company, and they were going to give our organization leads. But then they were like, well, we could even pay on some things if you hold this license, because they cannot pay an unlicensed individual. So I was like, yeah, let me get the license. But then in thinking about it and praying to God, I realized that it could be, and I want to make it another opportunity to really meet the mission that I started with as a real estate agent and now a real estate broker, which is to serve and help many people that I know who aren't able to have access to financing. And now I know you may be like, there's a lot of access to financing. There's a lot of lenders out there, online lenders everywhere. But still, when you are working with many people who are underserved, they may not receive the information that other people receive in order to make sure they are utilizing the sources and the funds that are available to them. When, it's like people who don't know, or they never received something or never knew, it is not an automatic to go seek the information. And sometimes you may have people who are embarrassed to ask the questions, embarrassed to find out. They are afraid of rejection. They are afraid of receiving poor service. That can really cripple you, whether you do it consciously or subconsciously. And, I attribute this to even like we have this path on the side of our house, which is called in Atlanta, the Belt Line. And I've been living in this house before they made this belt line here. So on the other side, it was just like an alley, just, a lot of trees, nothing was over there. And people would walk, I live on a one-way street, so people would walk down in the middle of the street. They didn't have sidewalks, so it was just walk in the middle of the street because that was the only way to walk, right? Then all of a sudden they made this path here, and I started noticing when they first made it, over here in, I guess 2010 or whatever, people were still walking in the street. And I even had to tell people, you can walk on that path. That was made for you. That was made for you to be able to walk on. You no longer have to walk in the street. But it didn't correlate with them because this was the lifestyle that they were accustomed to doing. They didn't know that that was something that they can take part of, or if it was private property, or if it was just for a certain person, right? A certain set of people. So that's why I'm deciding to really move forward in that mortgage loan origination space, so that I can have greater access to helping people. I became a real estate agent to help underserved people get into a home. It's important for me and for others to own where they live. And I tell people, no matter what you own, whether it is a small shack, a tiny house, a condo, half of a duplex, it doesn't matter as long as it's yours. Own where you live. And I'll have videos coming up on the importance of that and why I think it's more important than to rent. I know a lot of people are saying, well, it's the same amount if I own a house or if I rent, or if it's cheaper for me to rent. It's never cheaper for you to rent. It appears cheaper for you to rent, but it's not cheaper for you to rent in the long term. You are just paying somebody else's mortgage, and then when you have to move, because they may want you to move, you got to move. And then the market prices where you want to stay may no longer accommodate what your income is. So you've cost yourself. And time is money. As time goes on, we're not getting younger. So if you're talking about wanting to be able to have a lifestyle that you can sustain as a senior, you want to own where you live so that you can begin to manage your money better. And if you get Social Security or any fixed income, you'll be able to have a fixed state of where you're paying, a fixed mortgage, so that you can better budget. And yes, it's true that sometimes your monthly payments can go up, but that won't necessarily be your mortgage payment. It'll be dependent on, the taxes where you are or the home insurance. And even in Atlanta now, there are programs for seniors where they are able to get assistance. And those who live in the city of Atlanta on the Beltline, they're able to do things like freeze their taxes. The Beltline has a fund that can help pay for taxes. So there are a lot of benefits, and I have a lot of knowledge, and I want to be able to hands-on help people, because a lot of the people that I try to reach, they're not people who just will go on YouTube and look at my videos. You know what I mean? Many of them may be senior, they may be older, they may not be so much of a senior, but they may come from the generation where YouTube is not their first thought or priority. It is word of mouth. It is referrals from other friends or seeing how other people do it. And I want to be an asset to them so that we can continue to thrive in our communities that we help build, that we help develop. I hear so much about in town Atlanta now. A lot of people, of course they didn't want to live here in the 90s, in the early 2000s. They'd be like, in town Atlanta is trash, or in town Atlanta is a lot of crime. It is, dilapidated homes. And yes, there were a lot of crime and dilapidated homes in urban environments. But if you understood how it got there, and we could have an honest conversation of the intentionality of bringing down Black communities, then you'll be able to see what's going on behind the scenes, and it'll help you be aware of locations that maybe even in your state that are urban locations that you see are dilapidated and nobody is maintaining, and you can begin to see them for what they are and get in on them before they get revitalized and become unaffordable, and then they are the next best thing since sliced bread. So that is a long way, I know, of me telling you a little bit about what I'm trying to do next with obtaining the, becoming a mortgage loan originator. I hope to be an asset in that space. I'm concerned, I'm always concerned about all of the sales jobs that I do. I have held positions in the 90s in recruitment for large insurance companies, financial companies, when I lived in New York. And I worked salary and commission. The salary was my safety net. But since the 90s, so I've always worked commission, which make it challenging, which really has made it challenging when my children were younger. Now my kids are grown and I have just one baby. He's home with me still, but I have a husband and we have plans and we have things that we want to do. So I'm always struggling with the thought of, do I want to take another role where I'm primarily working on commission? How will this benefit us as a family? Or should I be looking for something else, that will be a more stabler position, stabler salary. So I'll keep you updated on that as well. Anyway, I hope you have another good week, and I look forward to talking to you again. And take care. Let me know what you think about my new venture of becoming a mortgage loan originator. If you have any questions about real estate, I am always here for you to answer them for you. And I love to hear your thoughts. Until we meet again, have a great week. Bye.